Hey amazing artist, if you're looking for an idea for your art or junk journal, then I have a perfect one for you today. You're going to need something to collage with, but first let's just get some colour down to kick this page off. Now I started my page with some paint smushing where I just spread out some colour around in a free and loose kind of way. Of course, do it any way you want. You could do it with some mark making, you could use blocks of colour, you could do smushing as well, any kind of text you want, drips, dribbles, all sorts of fun. This technique today is actually perfect for finishing pages that you might have started with some random colour and then left to get finished later. And that's exactly how this page worked for me. So when I started this, I had no intention for it whatsoever. It was just a case of getting some colour down, finishing off some bits of colour that were on my palette from other projects. And I had no plan or direction of where I wanted it to go. It was just going to be a starter page in my junk journal actually. This is my junk journal that I'm in. I'm using some big old blocks of smushy fuzzy colour and that is how a few of my junk journal pages tend to start. So if you haven't seen my junk journals before and you're new to my channel, then I do have a video all about what I actually use for junk journals, and junk journals can be many different things to many different people. It's a loose interpretation. Junk journals can be whatever you want them to be. For me, they tend to be old event flyers that I recycle into art journals, and they're really quick and convenient and easy to use. Also, they've got the added extra benefit of I can be as messy as I want in them and not have to worry about it. Time for a bit of a colour change for mine, and I've got some leftover indigo and a bit of white for this next bit. I don't know why, but these are making me think of clouds. Are they making you think of clouds too? I'm thinking clouds in a magical unicorn sky. I have no idea why the word unicorn popped into my head, but it did. I don't know where this is going, but I have a feeling I should do some mark making, and these little rings are just perfect for what I want here. Something a bit quick and a bit loose. And this is pretty much where I left this page until I was playing around with my December 2020, so that's last month's art pack for my patrons. So every month I put together an arty download for my Digi Delightfuls and Video Fanatic patrons over on Patreon. And of course I play with them myself as well. And it is still on my Patreon if you would like to go grab it. I was in the middle of doing my video for the December inspiration for using the art pack, so I do an inspiration project video every month as well. But the pack was just giving me too many ideas. So some of the pack spilled out onto this page too, and it's just, as I said, it's just a perfect page for this particular project. So it was only really when I started playing with this pack that I realised how many collage cluster opportunities there were with it, And that's perfect for today's Fill Your Journal inspiration, because that's basically what this idea is about. It's about collage clusters. Don't overlook the collage cluster. The thing about clusters is that they are a wonderful way to add interest to a page, so you can use them as simply as we're using them today, which is going to be as my main focal point. I think this comes from my card making days, where I used to often gravitate to clusters in my card designing. I absolutely love a cluster. But clusters don't have to be reserved just for focal points. You can use clusters as background texture on your project building as one of the layers that you build up. Even on something as small as this A5 size, I could probably use smaller elements and place them in clusters around the page, maybe sort of like just slightly off the edges of the page too, so that's another way to use clusters. I am going to go for the big old focal image because the size and nature of this cluster, I think it will work really well as the focal image here. I've settled on the black and white doodles with the little red peaks in there as well on a couple of them, together with the red heart and maybe some of the smaller doodle mandalas. I really like that look and how the colours work on this background. The blue in the mandalas pull out that blue in the fluffy unicorn sky. And the pinky red of the heart goes so well with the pinky red of the background. This is another wonderful thing about using collage clusters. These colours will work really well together, but if I was to put the heart onto the background on its own, then I could lose that. It can merge too nicely into the background, which might be a look that you're going for, but it's not the look I'm going for here. So if I just cluster them together with the black and white circle doodles, that instantly lifts them off the page, lifts the heart and the mandalas off the page, but you get a nice harmony between the colours that are here. Another great thing about using cluster collage, particularly for your focal images, is just how quickly you can get a page done. So this is a great technique to use when you haven't got an awful lot of time to art, particularly if you're already using a background that you might have done in another session, and you can get your art on really quickly and easily as well. So something to think about if you need to speed art. So I get this all stuck on, and then I start feeling that I need something else here, and I remember that my January 2020 art pack has some words in it, so I decided to cut some of those out to see if they would work here. I felt that they did, so I went with the art, the word art. I'm thinking of it more as a command, like go and art, than a statement. So I hope you have fun with some clustering of your pieces, doing some collage clusters in your next art journal, junk journal. Have fun with it. Of course, if you're looking for some more mixed media ideas and inspiration to help you fill your art journal, then I have lots of them here. Do like and subscribe, and I will catch you again later for some more art. Bye!